Hey, welcome back to the podcast, everybody. You've stumbled upon Minstack Podcasts. Yes, that is correct. This is the Minstack Podcast. That is where you are. How many times can I say the same exact thing in a different way? I don't know. I was going to try to go for 10, but I think I made it to 3. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. I hope you woke up and looked in that mirror and was like, whoa, God did an extra number on me last night. I look good. I'm wearing an off-the-shoulder top today because we are talking about dating apps. And I feel like dating apps call for shoulders. Anyways, so however long ago, I went to the beautiful place of Newport Beach in Southern California, and I asked the beautiful people of beautiful Newport Beach what their thoughts were on dating apps. Now, I'm going to just be straight up with you right now, 1000%. I hate dating apps. I don't like them. We'll get into all of that later, but let's just jump on in. And these were the highlights from that questionnaire.
I have been on and off though. The amount of work you have to put in to get like communication, to set up the dates, that's the part that exhausts me. I've gone on a lot of first dates from it, but I'm not getting past the first dates because they're all kind of weird.
I think that it does take a tremendous amount of time to go on dates with a bunch of people, to like talk to them online. I hear stories that most people don't even want to like meet. It's just a lot of time. And I feel like I don't, particularly in my opinion, dating isn't like my favorite extracurricular activity. There's a lot of other things I'd rather do. Dating apps.
There's only one. It's eHarmony.com. That's all you need because 20 years ago it worked for me.
Don't you have to pay a fee for eHarmony? I should have done some more research, but let's see. Maybe they have more success because if somebody's paying a fee, you can probably imagine they don't just want to like fart around. Like they want to get down to business and find their true match, you know, their true love in life. It's technically rated the #1 matchmaker in the US. It has an 80% relationship success rate. Wow. So if you're looking for love tonight, stop wasting your time with the stupid dating apps. Hop on eHarmony. That's where true love is. I wonder how expensive it is. Expensive is eHarmony. Can you really put a price on love though? I don't think you can. It's not even that bad. The prices go between $35.90 and $65.90 for certain memberships. Keep watching.
Spend time with them. Recommend at least 9 months. Takes 9 months to have a kid, right? So,
Okay,
yeah. So,
wait, 9 months before you met him in person?
yeah. No, but just before you decide to say yes, if you're going to say yes.
Okay. Like really feel the water out before you hang out in real life.
That's my recommendation.
I feel like that's the safest option too.
I would agree.
It is true. That's the thing with online dating that nobody really likes to talk about. I mean, I feel like we all know, but we don't really talk about it. I just kind of like choked on my own spit just now. But yeah, it can be like dangerous. And I'm speaking as a woman where everything is so dangerous, but like, you know, you got to be smart about things. You can't just like meet people and get in their cars now. Like, who knows? A lot of these people are probably from like Criminal Minds, CSI. Like, I don't know. I don't want to end up 6 feet under. I don't want to end up in the back of somebody's car. So men, if you are ever like taking out a girl and she doesn't know you, like it's different if you know somebody, like you've known them through friends or whatever. That's completely 1000% different. But if she doesn't know you at all and she's like, no, I want to meet you there, and you keep forcing the issue, it's because she doesn't want to get in your car because you're a weirdo and you're probably a freak. That's the truth. And she's trying to be nice about it by telling you she's coming from the opposite direction of town and she'll just meet you there. And you're not taking the hint, and it's just because she doesn't trust you, all right? And I don't either. I don't trust you either as far as I could throw you.
It's kind of like you can just pick and choose just on the phone without actually taking the effort of going up and trying to talk to somebody. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it creates awesome relationships all the time.
In my opinion, it is a sort of shallow way of dating and approaching dating. I feel like on the dating apps, all you're looking at really is looks because there's nothing else to base it off. Like I can't, and here's the thing. One thing about me is that I can be attracted to somebody, not so much physically, but by who they are and how they carry themselves. I find that I am far more attracted to how somebody presents themselves, interacts with other people, has conversations, who they really are. I find that I'm far more attracted to somebody's character than I am like their physical traits. Now, don't get me wrong. Chris Pratt in Parks and Recreation, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm talking about before he got all buff and disgusting. moving on.
I would love to be asked out in person.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I'm the same way.
We're missing that. We're missing it. So somebody did. I was walking back from the beach and we just started talking. And then he found out where I work, so he called my work and asked me out. And I wasn't that attracted to him, but I was like, I love, like, you asked me. I'm like, yes, I'll go on a date.
I loved that story. So I am not on dating apps. So any dating that I've done in the past like 3 years or so has just it's just been with dudes that like you meet in public and they have the nerve to ask you out. And let me tell you something. There's nothing more attractive to me than a man who just confidently asks you to go to coffee and like, can I take you out for a date? We are missing that. And I think that feminism, this is another way that feminism has ruined society, because I have seen interviews with people on the street who are asking girls, like, what would you do if a man came up to you and asked you out? Like, who didn't know you, just said, hey, I think you're really beautiful. Would you like to go out sometime? She's like, I would be weirded out. Like, that's weird. Why is he talking to me? I don't know him. And it's like this weird, like, I don't know, we've just like totally ruined it for ourselves. Like back in the day, men had such game. Like they would see a girl that they thought was really cute and they'd go up to her and ask her out, and then they would go out and it wasn't weird. Like we are missing that. We've told men, like, don't tell us that we're pretty. Like don't hit on us. Don't do any of this stuff. And the funny thing is that women still want to do that. And the only way that they're doing that now is dressing up like complete and total hussies and going to the clubs. Like, disgusting. And then you have men who are like half drunk coming up trying to hit on you. Oh my, ugh. I'd far rather be reading the paper on a park bench somewhere and have a handsome gentleman come and ask for my number. That is way better. But we've told men that they can't do that. We've told them, hey, you have to stop doing that. And now all they can do is go on an app and swipe in some superficial way. I don't know. I just think there's something so chivalrous about it. It says something about your character as a man when you have the confidence to go up to a woman and just like ask for her number. I far more respect that. I'm far more attracted to that. Even if I'm not like instantly physically attracted to you, I would give almost anybody a shot. Barring like criminals and stuff, you know? And I have to just say something. I just have to say something. If you're a dude and you're like 21, 22, and you've never asked a girl out to her face, like you've never been like, hey, we should go out sometime, you're not really a man. You're not really a man. It's like a bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah. Like you don't truly become a man until you take that next step. That's not even a personal opinion. That's just science.
Just not my thing. So I'd rather just, if I see what I like, I just go talk to the person. Even if she says no, that doesn't bother me at all. I'm just like, hey, okay, she said no. Okay, that's fine. It's fine to say no.
He knows who he is. He knows who he is. Oh my gosh, it's so refreshing. I just love it. He's like, if she says no, who cares? That doesn't define me. I know who I am. I love that. I love that. God bless you, sir.
When you're out on a dating app, you're pretty much out for an easy hookup. If she's talking to me, she's talking to 1,000 other people. So organically, when I'm not expecting it, seems to be a little bit more genuine.
No one actually wants to meet the person they're going to be with on a dating app. Maybe they do. I don't really know. I haven't asked every single person in the world. This is just the vibe that I'm picking up on. I think people truly feel like this is the last kind of resort. The issue is that most people understand it's just an ingenuine way of meeting people. It's unintentional. It's lazy. All you're doing is superficially swiping through things. It's like online shopping, but for a date. Online dating gives the illusion that there are thousands of possible options for you. And so I think especially in today's day and age with men and women, they don't feel any need to commit. And so it's creating a very toxic hookup culture where people aren't committing to one another anymore, getting married or establishing family roots with one another. And it is only self-serving, this need for people to just get attention. It's like instant gratification, instant attention. I think people get a huge ego boost just from going online and online dating. I think people just like get a high off of the attention and they don't have any real intention of actually seeking genuine connection or genuine relationships with other people. And for me, somebody who's like, I do want to get married and I don't want to waste my time dating around with a bunch of losers who have no genuine real interest in me, that's a complete waste of time. That's an absolute complete waste of time. And I know there's exceptions and there's people that have found real love on dating apps. Show me 5 couples in your life that have gotten married or have been in a long-term relationship from online dating. I'd love to see it. Please. I'm desperate to see it. Please show me. On dating apps.
They're bad.
They're bad. Why?
It's not natural selection.
Cause it's very like fake, you know? It's not real.
Well, I actually don't believe in evolution because I'm a Christian, but natural selection I do think is a correct thing. Natural selection would actually be in society, in the real world, men becoming and challenging themselves to be the best version that they could possibly be in order to compete with the other men to win a girl. It'd be women becoming high value women so that they can compete with other high value women so that they could get a high value man and vice versa. So yeah, it's not natural selection. I agree with that. I think there's something to be said about a man who has to pursue a woman and kind of earn her. I think that women should strive to be high value women and have good morals for themselves and good standards for themselves. We kind of set the bar, and I feel like we have allowed the bar to drop so low. I mean, the bar is in hell. That's how low it is. And men don't have to work for anything anymore. If you don't have to work for something, you don't value it. And that's why these women are getting treated like trash. They're like, men suck. It's just like, no, they don't. You just, I think people join dating apps the majority of the time out of a place of fear. Out of a place of fear that they're going to be alone forever, that they're never going to meet somebody. This is the only way. And I feel like that's a very narrow-minded way of looking at the world, especially if you're a God-fearing person, especially if you're a Christian. I'm not saying God can't work through a dating app. I'm not saying that if you're on a dating app, you're somehow, less than or whatever. I'm talking to the people who don't want to go on one, who hate it, but who stick on it because they're operating out of a place of fear. That's not for you. You're not meant to be on a dating app then, if that's how you feel. That idea that that's the only way to meet the person that God has for you is completely false. And I reject that and I kick it to the door and throw it outside with the trash because that idea is completely taking God out of the mix. God is a God of miracles and a God of perfect timing and a God of so much power that you can't even believe or comprehend. We serve the same God who opened the Red Sea, who provided manna and nutritious food from the heavens for his people. The same God who sent his one and only son to die on a cross for you so you could live forever with him in eternity is the same God that you pray to about whoever your future spouse is going to be. That same God loves you and wants what is best for you and knows what's best for you more than you do. God's timing is perfect. I trust God to know when I'm ready because I look at marriage as, especially as a woman, like I don't want to do anything half-heartedly. When I get married, I want to be a wife and I want to be a mama and like that is what I want to do. I want to serve God first and then I want to serve my family second and then I want to do whatever it is he has for me after that. But like my family will come before those things. I know right now in my heart, like I have things that I still want to do, like mission trips that I want to go on. And I have these like dreams that I still want to do before I completely sign up for that. Cause once you get married, like that's it. Like you're married, you have to consider this person in every part of your life from this point forward. Marriage is the biggest decision you will ever make in your entire life. Second to your salvation. And so why do you want to rush that? Why would you want to manipulate that and like just settle for that? God knows what you need. He knows every hair on your head. He knew you before you were created in your mother's womb. Like he knows what you need and he's got it and he's working. And just because you don't see it doesn't mean he's not doing things behind the scenes. So trust him. I can't stand when I see a woman or man, but I'm a girl, so really my association has only been with women about this. But I can't stand when I see a woman freaking out and living a life of total worry and anxiety and upsetness because she's not married yet. And she's living her life sulking about it. And it just reeks of desperation. Living a life of desperation as a single woman is probably like my biggest pet peeve. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Why not take advantage of the single life? Like why? You'll never get this time back again. Be a force for Jesus while you can. Like you have the most freedom in your life to do anything and be a witness for God in any way that he's calling you to each and every single day. Like why not take full advantage of that? But what I was gonna say was A lot of times when we are in these seasons, right? Like a drought, like a dating drought, where there's just like no suitors, no men of interest. And guys, this can go for you too. If you're in a dating dry spell, what ends up happening a lot of the time is what me and my brother like to call the Mermaid Theory. Now, what is the Mermaid Theory, you may ask? Great question. I'm going to answer that for you. Imagine you're a sailor and you get on a ship. Maybe you get on the Mayflower and you are traveling across sea for months. You don't even know how many months it's been, but all you see when you wake up in the morning till when you go to bed at night is sea and sky, and that's it. And you're a dude. So the only other sailors that are on that ship with you are dudes. There's no like dating suitors for you on that boat, and you're lonely, and all you'd like to do is feel the touch of a precious woman's soft hand graze upon your rugged beard, and you don't because you're on a ship with a bunch of sailors. But then you look out into the ocean, and on a rock, you see a beautiful mermaid. And you're like, my dad was just calling me. Sorry, Dad. And you're like, oh my gosh, that is a beautiful mermaid. I must kiss her. And you go up to that mermaid, and you're like, I'm going to kiss you. And you kiss the mermaid. And then you realize when you open your eyes that you're kissing a walrus. And that is the Mermaid Theory. So if you take that to real life, it means that the dating pool is so dry for you, like you literally have no prospects, that people who normally wouldn't be prospects in your life, who are like the walruses of the dating pool, you start to think are eligible dating mermaids. Gosh, it's the worst. You don't want to be that sailor smooching with walruses. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. And I don't know if I'm necessarily the right person to say it. I am a 28-year-old Christian conservative woman. And I love that. I love that I'm in that pool. I love Jesus, and that's how I want to live my life. I just want to honor and serve him. But it's difficult being single in this world in that sort of demographic. And I just want to use this as encouragement for other girls who are in their 20s, early 30s, who are single, who maybe feel the same way I do. I feel like I'm sitting in this world, and on one hand, you have the liberal, feminist, worldly movement that look at me as a 28-year-old single girl and they go, all men suck. You should never get married. Focus on your career. Don't have kids. Like, stick it to the man, girl boss, all that jazz. But then on the other hand, you have like the Christian conservative side of things who sort of doesn't see you as a fully valued woman until you've reached marriage. And I feel like being in that in-between spot where you have these values, but you're in this circumstance where you are single, it's like you either have to be a man hater and sell out and live this single life forever, or you have to become super fixated on finding your husband. And if you don't, like, you don't have any value. There's no happy in between. And there's a lot of women who are in the in between right now. And that's cool. Like, that's okay. Like, you don't have to feel pressured to become a man hater, but you also shouldn't feel any pressure to go and force marriage into your life when it's not God's time for it yet. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's, wow. I'm like incredibly exhausted. That was a lot of speaking. All right, well, I guess we should wrap this thing up. Alrighty, everybody. Well, if you want encouragement, gentlemen, go ask out a girl today. Go ask out a girl. That little Susie girl, that little woman named Deborah that you've been having a crush on at the bakery, go ask for her number. Go ask her out. What else? What else should you do? Be encouraged that zits are never going to stop coming in on your face. I have a huge zit right here. It hurts. I was doing sit-ups earlier, and the pressure from going up and down was hurting this on my head. It's the size of Jupiter. And that's the end of the podcast.